Welcome in, ATB show. It is at the buzzer, and we are down to 2 again. I feel like when I show up, everybody scatters. Everybody scatters. We've got an actual emergency, nothing crazy, but Corey is on a flight that has a medical emergency going on right now, so that's horrifying. Adam and Scotty are in hair and makeup. We might get Scotty. We might, but we think he's stuck in hair and makeup. So you got Rubber Shoes, you got me. At the buzzer, brought to you by our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. Joe and Leslie tolerate our stupidity and claim to know us. And we love that. And it works out for everybody, sort of. So here we are. I think we're ignoring, even though it's riddled on all my TVs. Are we ignoring football this week? Let's ignore football this week.
It's combine week, right?
Yeah, I think, unless you saw somebody run a really good 40, which I don't even think those have started yet. I felt like
I think
this morning.
The only thing that I've read or heard was that Will Campbell has short arms.
And yeah, are we gunning for him now? Is that seems to be the top prize?
I know
apparently.
that's like the top left tackle that's out there.
Yeah, which it looks like. So I've seen some weird drafts. I said we're not going to do football, and here we are. Say this is how it goes. Mm-hmm. So
my bad.
No, you're good. I've seen a few mock drafts, and I've seen a handful of people that have us trading down and trading out of the 4. And then in that same mock draft, I see Travis Hunter going after the 4th pick, which I don't even know what I care about anymore. I think everybody settled on the fact that we're pursuing T. Higgins. I don't think he's going anywhere. T. Higgins is going to stay put. Same person as Jamar Chase, same agent, right? That to me is like the tea leaves saying that he's not going anywhere. I can't imagine he's going to come play here. I don't know. I think we're left tackle. Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. That's who. Yeah. That's who I'm leaning towards wanting. Mm-hmm. And it's all going to depend on quarterbacks if people jump up to grab them.
Yeah. Well, the other interesting thing too, the more people have talked about it, like the relationship that Vrabel has just from being a consultant in Cleveland, like Myles Garrett wants out.
Right.
Yet we're not necessarily the person he's talking about, because Myles Garrett wants to go somewhere and not necessarily win yesterday, but win quickly.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if we're the team that gets him to winning quickly. We're a team on the rise, and I think we could threaten to be in the conversation in the East. I don't think, obviously we got to beat the Bills, and I don't know if that's in the cards, because a lot of things could be really good and we could be a contender in the East. Who knows? But I think Myles Garrett wants to go to somebody who can win yesterday, and I don't think he's going to give anybody a discount.
Well, if he has some type of relationship with Vrabel, and Vrabel tells him, just look at the Commanders last year. Mm-hmm. They got the 2nd pick in the draft, and they made it to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
That if you make the right moves, we can be right there. Mm. It's just a matter of them making the right picks, the right signings, and actually being all in and actually paying people to come here. I mean, it can get turned around pretty quick. Houston proved it 2 years ago. The Commanders proved it last year.
So the salary cap's going up 20 mil. Is that what I heard? Or more than that? I think 20 mil was the number I heard.
I think they said between 21 and 25. Okay,
so the salary cap's going up. We have arguably in the entire league the most room. Do we not?
That's what I've heard, yes.
Yeah, I feel like we have the most room in the entire league. Like, there's no excuse to not spend. And God bless. Wow, never saw this coming. Don't print these shirts. God bless John Henry. Like that move, whether and I don't think anybody doesn't like it, whether you like John Henry or not. You have to like the Bregman move because we got better overnight. But this is going back to the conversation we had on the old show, Billy, which was like the teams fighting for the sports page on the back page of the Herald. Yeah, right. And I think him doing that, and then the cigar photo and all that kind of stuff. It's forcing Kraft to realize that like he's got to spend money.
Yeah.
They have to spend all the money.
Yeah.
So I don't
want to
know
be
how
back in the mix, then they gotta pony up.
Yeah. Yep. So that'll be interesting. Coming off the break, you know what's funny? I was talking the last show I was on 2 weeks ago. Congratulations on episode 200. A couple of weeks ago when we were episode 199, a couple of weeks back, I was talking about the fact that we were going into the break for the Bruins and the Celtics, and everybody on the show tackled me in the hallway and kicked me in the ribs. And they're like, well, the Celtics aren't on a break yet. It was like the next day they were on a break.
I know.
I was off by 1 day.
They schedule the games on the same night. Why not have their All-Star break the same night? Just be dumb about it. They've, to my knowledge, I never remember them being off at the same time. Usually it's, I think,
staggered
NBA
weekends. The weekends were staggered. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but they were always pretty close, but the staggered weekends. So interesting. Like if we're going to spend some time here, I think we should. Your view of the NBA weekend and all of these games. Now, here's the thing. NHL has changed, I think, the way people are going to approach these All-Star games and creating a different tournament. And we'll talk about the hockey in a second, but the NBA All-Star weekend, couple of things. First of all, the dunk contest just isn't what it used to be. Like nobody's willing to do it, though. And his name escapes me for the life of me. The kid that won,
Mac McClung.
Yeah, McClung. Thank you, McClung. Back-to-back years, correct?
3
in a row. 3-peat. Can't say that. Sorry. I'll send you the check, Pat. 3 years in a row on the dunk contest, and now all these jackalopes are like, maybe I'll come out. Like this is the showcase for your league. Then the other thing that really annoyed me, this should shock nobody, the fact that I'm annoyed or who annoyed me. LeBron takes a starting position and sits. And when did he make this announcement? Like an hour before the game? Like you just screwed somebody of building their resume.
Yep. It's all about him.
It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. And in all of the sports, in all of the All-Star games, I think the only one I'd say, well, anyone you could get hurt, but like baseball. Baseball, they're hustling. You could turn an ankle going around a base or something like that. But everything else is pretty chill. It's like pick up, playing with your uncle basketball. Nobody's really defending. A lot of easy layups.
That's how it is now. It didn't used to be like that.
No, it did not used to be like that.
All the All-Star games used to be pretty competitive.
That's faded. Football is flag football, and I don't really have any. I don't have an issue. I'd rather see them play flag football and have fun, and for a sport that gets their face covered, to really express their personalities. I'm not really against a flag football. I think it's good because they make it more competitive and more interesting. Probably, but hockey figured it out. I mean, the Four Nation thing is great.
Yeah, but they can't do that every year.
No.
It was great because of how it was set up this time, and next year we have the Olympics, so it's going to be a good break next year. And I think they have Olympics next year. They're going to do the World Cup of Hockey the year after, and then they're thinking about doing the Four Nations again. Maybe they can add some more teams to that. I know they didn't include Russia in this one because of the Ukraine war. So maybe that gets figured out. They can let the Russian players in it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it expand it to have it 8, have 2 different pools of 4, have them play, and then the 2 winners of each pool play in the championship game.
Yep.
I think that would be good. But it was because it was USA Canada in the finals. That's what made it so great.
It was awesome. We were I was on the road last week and we were out to dinner, a group of us, and we're watching it, and it was just such a letdown. I sort of had a gut feeling. I'm like, this is not going to go the way we hope it goes.
And the thing is,
it's but I'm like, ugh.
The check mark. We probably only had 1 check mark, and that was our goaltending.
Yeah,
and Bennington in overtime played his ass off, and to give him the
Yeah,
tip your hat to him.
McKinnon, McDavid, and Sid are
Yeah,
pretty tough. Like that's the fact that we took game
talent
one and
wise, they have better talent. We have more like grinders, like the
yeah,
Kachuk brothers. They're
yeah,
really good, but they're more. We're gonna play physical against you,
mm-hmm,
and they're more finesse. And
mm-hmm,
that's kind of how it's always been USA and
yeah,
just
yep,
just our level of players are almost as good. So now you play with the physical play, and
yeah,
your players are almost as good as them. That puts them right there with them now.
yep, yep,
I mean, McDavid is just if you could build a hockey player from scratch, that's who you would build. The size, the speed,
yep.
the hands. He's the best player in the world.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. But that setup was really cool. The amount of people that watched I guess that's the stark comparison is the amount of people that watched the final of the Four Nations versus, and I think somebody was talking about they had combined, who had watched the Pro Bowl and who had watched the NBA thing.
Yeah,
And like it was a fraction of the viewership
yeah.
for, and it was
I
Thursday
think it
night, and
was
it's USA Canada, and with everything going on in the political arena that added to the
right.
bit of
Yeah,
the
I think
vitriol.
USA and Canada combined, I think it was close to like 20 million.
Yep, unreal,
Yeah. Yep.
unreal, unreal. Speaking of hockey, let's go to our hockey. Let's go to Boston hockey. Are they selling? Are we unleashing everybody?
They they should be. Whether or not anyone they do it or not, I don't know, but we definitely should be sellers. Try and build build get some young kids. We have nothing coming up that's any good. Like we have a bunch of third and fourth liners in Providence.
Yeah,
Um so try and get something. Yeah, I don't know. It's I've heard people saying, they could trade Marchand and he's a free
mm-hmm.
agent after this year, and they
Yep,
could sign him back to have him finish out his career here. It I mean, there's no one. The only person I would probably say no to is Pasternak, and I doubt they'll trade Swayman. I mean, maybe they're like, oh, if we can get rid of him on this contract, but I don't know if anyone would take him
right.
on the contract. But pretty much in my mind, everyone's on the table except maybe Pasta. That's it.
Yeah, even McAvoy. You think McAvoy?
I would. Well, I mean, now he's hurt and maybe out
He's
for
not
the
going
season
anywhere
so I
right now
can't-
because he's
yeah.
hurt. Right? Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to if someone's trying to trade for a player now for their run,
It's
he's
not him.
not gonna.
He's off the
Yeah,
table. Yep. Yeah. I hate the fact that he's been here this whole entire time, and now Marchand might be going. So you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that.
It's
That kills me. That kills me.
if
But
you think about it,
something's off because we look terrible.
they were talking about this on one of the locals radio shows. The Bruins really have never had a true reset. They've always they've always made the playoffs, so they're always like drafting in the middle or late rounds.
Yeah.
So they're not
Yeah.
getting a ton of talent because they're not drafting high in the draft,
Yeah.
and they just they just re-sign people, and so that's their problem is they don't have a lot of homegrown talent.
Yeah.
I mean, McAvoy is the last guy that's a decent player for that they drafted.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these guys, I mean, Marchand was, but he's on the end of his career.
Sure. Well, it's interesting too, and that you bring that up because just the semantics of what Cam has been saying is you never hear him say that we're ready for a rebuild. He keeps saying retool,
Yeah.
which is like a lighter version of it. But that's what they've
Right.
done. They just keep stacking talent, and as soon as somebody evaporates, somebody else magically shows up. And I mean, I remember, was it Bergeron's like first year, and he was on some weird the ad, and I remember seeing like the ad like the first week of the season that he started, and he was like riding a Zamboni around a neighborhood, and he was
Yep.
just a kid. It was like a Bruins ad, and he was just a kid. And
Yep.
I'm like, oh my god, like we had such a young crew at that point. Now to think that he's now what is he 2 years? He's 2 years
Yep.
off the ice, right? I mean, it's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy, but you do have a great point. Like there's nobody that we're holding back down in Providence, waiting for the right moment. We don't have the farm right now. Yeah, it'll be interesting. They make a deal? They cobbled together some deal. Who do you think? Who would you like to see come this way? The immediate help. I mean, we need offense right now.
I don't think they're getting anyone that I don't think they trade. Like if you're selling, you're not getting someone good that's gonna play right now back.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, guys in other people's farm system that they don't have room for because they have too much talent up top. That's a good prospect.
Yep.
That's what I think they're gonna do. They're gonna go out and get prospects that are better than their prospects to start filling the farm system and get some good players.
Yep.
That's what Montreal has. They've had top 5 picks in the last 3 seasons, so those players are starting to come up and click. And they had when they had the first pick in the draft, that was 2 or 3 years ago. That kid's playing, and he's only 20 years old. He's their first line center, I believe.
Yeah.
It's like that to get cheap talent, you got to get it high in the draft, or you're doing the same thing over and over. You just, you're getting the Lindholm, who you thought, we had an off year last year. Hopefully you can come in and you strike gold again, but it's hard. It's hard doing it that way.
Yeah.
Either you pay through the nose to get a legit guy, or you're taking chances with people, like the Red Sox always do.
Yeah, I think our highest draft pick last year was the BC kid, right? Letourneau. Was he our top pick?
That I'm not. I don't pay attention.
Maybe I'm off on that, but yeah, I was trying to think like who do we have that's at the college level that might come up after that's all over with. Yeah. Which I guess it wouldn't matter because we're going to be on the outside looking in anyway.
Is he a freshman at BC?
I want to say Letourneau's in his sophomore year.
So I know they were talking about someone at BC that, maybe that's him. That he was either a freshman or a sophomore, like real young.
Hold on. Make sure you tell everybody that I was actually doing my job and I was looking stuff up. Letourneau, Bruins. What do we got? Dean Letourneau. Excuse me. Pardon me all the hell. He is a freshman.
Yeah, so that's the guy they were talking about. Yeah. And they're like, does he, as a freshman, does he come in and come right into or does he play another year at BC?
Yeah, well, I mean, we just had one of the kids stayed back who was going to leave, and he's our captain, and he'll be probably escaping after this year. Yeah, Letourneau selected 25th overall in the first round in 24 by the Bruins. I felt like he was back for his sophomore year. I'm out of my mind. Anyway, yeah, the Bruins are so annoying. So annoying that we went from the President's Cup to what the hell's going on. Like we cannot get out of our way, On the other side, Celtics, like, clicked, right? Feel like they're clicking now? They're just clicking.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. We always talk about the switch, and I guess they know they have it. Because I think they were just going through the paces there at the beginning of January, or actually all of January.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting worried, and now it's like all of a sudden they're like, okay, we got our All-Star week rest, and right before that they were starting to click, and now it seems like they're in go mode now.
Yeah, was it almost like load management hiding in plain sight?
Yeah,
I think they were sort of playing. They were playing in fourth gear to not blow a gasket before they got into the other side of the season.
I believe so. Yeah, even though they go out, I think it's not their play per se is, in a lower mode, but
Yep.
they're mentally, they're just going through the paces mentally. They're still out there, they still have the ability, they can, but I think you gotta focus so much to be elite. Maybe
Yeah.
they just, like, going through the paces that way, where it gets a little ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3rd quarter against the Knicks, it's like, what happens? It the Knicks got back within 3 in that game in the 3rd quarter. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. And Porzingis
And
is like, he was chalking up threes the other night. I don't know how many did he hit. I feel like he threw up. He had a really good night the other night for sure.
yeah,
And it's funny because when he was gone, it would be the thing that they would say, "Well, we're losing, but like we lost that one, but we still don't have him back, or he's not at 100%." Like
yeah,
he's clearly at 100%.
yeah.
And they're, I don't like what's the challenge right now in the East.
Um,
Who do you think the challenge is?
I don't know if they have one. I think it's them.
Them
They'll
might be
they'll
them.
beat right. They'll beat themselves. That's it. Because I don't think we've already shown the Knicks don't really have it
Yep.
to play with them. The best, and see, I don't know. Like Milwaukee has 2 great players, but I don't think they have the role players. They did make a trade, which I'm not 100% sure on the guy that they got, but he's supposed to be better than, they gave up Chris Middleton for
Mhm.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think it was, and then Cleveland did add a piece, but I don't think, as Tyler said, they're, 2nd and 3rd stars
Mm-hmm.
on, they disappear in the tough games. So it's got Garland and Allen, and Mobley, those 3 guys,
Yeah.
they're not tested in playoff situations. So last year they were missing, Mobley was hurt, and oh no, Allen was hurt. Mobley was kinda, I think, coming back from an injury, and then they lost Donovan Mitchell during the series.
And Philadelphia just needs 4 more maxis. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, what's
They
going
should
on with
blow that team.
what's going on with Embiid? Like, what's the deal? What would you say
Well, he needs another surgery, so that I would just shut him down. Like, if I was Philly, I'd shut him and George down. Maybe get a chance at Cooper Flag. But I don't think I think Embiid's a loser. Like, I don't think he's never been to a conference championship. He just, I don't know. He's a dog. He's worse than LeBron. Like, when things don't go his way, he like quits,
Yep. Yep.
And I mean, that's a big problem with the NBA now. It's like they've been given everything their whole life coming up to this, and they just expect to be handed everything when they get to the pros. And
Yeah.
The guys that become the Tom Brady's, they're the best, and they work like they're the worst guy. They're still trying to make the team.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, Larry Bird did it. Larry Bird worked his ass off. He was the best player, best top 2, 3 player in the league every year, and he still worked like he was trying to make the team every off season.
Yes.
And
They
I think
always talk about after a game, he'd be out on the court.
Yep.
Like the Bull Gang was done. They didn't have to lift the floor because the Celtics were going to play again before the Bruins played. But they were like shutting the lights down, and he was still out there shooting.
The Celtics are lucky. I think we have guys that kind of have that mentality. I think Tatum and Brown, they've improved every year during the offseason. Pritchard definitely has done it.
Unreal.
Like, these guys are, especially, I was worried about that coming into the season. Like, they just won it. It's like, okay, you can exhale. We did it.
Yep.
But if you listen to Tatum, he understands it's all well and good. Like he can break all Bird's records, like scoring and rebounds and all that stuff. But if he only has one title, he's not going to be as good as him. So he wants another one at least.
Well, and I'm not saying that it's egomaniacal, because it's not, because I can imagine the fire is burning in his belly. Like, he wants an MVP.
Yeah.
He
It's gonna be
wants a
tough.
conference MVP or the finals MVP or the league. Like, and there's no reason he can't get it.
So the problem is, because of the team he's on, it's hard for him to be the guy who's just going to dominate every game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they need Jokic to put up 30, 20 rebounds, 15 assists every night, you know? And he does that. They don't need Tatum to do that. And like when he gets his triple doubles, he's scoring less than 20 points, which is great. Like, he's doing what he should be doing. But when they look at the stat, it's so stat driven. It's like, it's going to be hard for him to, unless he gets very selfish and just strictly wants to go for the MVP,
Right.
which I don't see him doing that. I don't see him being that type of player. Maybe when, a few years from now, when they lose some pieces and maybe he has to step up and do a little more, maybe then he does it. But the team as it is right now, he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah. Well, there's no need to screw with the juju at this point.
Yeah. Right.
Or the Ubuntu, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah, the only good thing Doc Rivers ever did.
Oh boy.
Actually, I don't know if he even came up with that. It was probably Garnett.
I feel like it was Garnett, because he's the one that references it so much. Like, he talked about it quite a bit in the Starting Five season 1. He talked about it quite a bit. How important is tonight's game, jumping from the Celtics over to the Lakers? Like, are you watching tonight? I know you and Scotty must be locked and loaded for tonight.
What time?
And probably Corey too. Well, they're playing in Dallas. It's going to be late, right?
So probably 9 o'clock. So maybe I catch the first 5 minutes.
You're gonna be sleepy nights.
Well, they say 9 o'clock, but then by the time it gets started, it's like 9:30, quarter to 10.
Oh yeah, because it'll be TNT, right? Yeah. So there'll be a whole bunch of Lakers Mavs standby 10 p.m.
Oh yeah, nope.
Nope, not gonna see.
Way.
Not gonna
No
see.
way.
I'll see the highlights or the lowlights in the morning. Yeah, interesting. 10 o'clock. Yikes. And I know that's 7 out there, but like, I don't know. And they couldn't control this because the trade was made after the schedule was made. But like, this is where the NBA should consider.
They can flex it out, I'm sure.
Yeah, like this is where the NBA should consider flexing it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure the networks are like, oh my God, it's on a Tuesday night at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's probably, I trust it's probably TNT or maybe it's ESPN. Who knows?
Next year it's a Christmas Day game.
Let me hit the watch live and it'll tell me where we're going. TNT. Yep. Oh, it'll be Christmas Day next year for sure.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting. Do you think? And I think they're working together really well from what I've seen, because I'm not watching religiously because it's the fucking Lakers. But do you think?
And
like,
it's
I've got a gut instinct that LeBron makes tonight all about him. I really do. He's such an ass. He has the propensity to be just such a dick.
Well, he'll want to make sure he gives, like, Luka goes for 40 and LeBron has 20 assists out of those 40.
Okay. Yeah. I can see him making it all about him.
I made sure it was all about him.
Yes.
I made sure it was all about Luka.
Correct.
I made sure.
Correct. Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Great point. Because all he has to do is make sure he gets 10 points, and then go ridiculous on the rebounds and the assists. Right.
He'll get a triple double with 15 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists, something like that. Yeah, it'll be ridiculous.
And some fake injury that he'll power through.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's funny. He didn't miss any. He hasn't missed any games since the All-Star break, and he had to sit out that game.
That was that's so ego driven. It's ridiculous. Who was
I
who?
I bet it was a thing where he's like, I don't want to play 2 games, 2 All-Star. Like, this is stupid. He's probably protesting. That's why he did it.
Yeah, he's a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
I can't wait for him to retire.
Yeah, not soon enough. Not soon enough. Your favorite topic? We get to talk about the Red Sox.
Well, let's finish basketball. Let's
Okay.
wearing this jersey today. Well, it's actually I had it made just for me. I didn't. No one else on the team has one. It's just whoever shows up. Because
I
the
love
guy
this.
who made our cups, he
Yeah.
does all this stuff. So he's like, I'm like, hey, can you make me a jersey? He's like, yeah, sure. So I had
Your
this made.
2 is sort of lost in the basketball. I can see you have a 2 on, but it's sort of lost in the basketball. But anyway, so Lowell Fire Department, ladder 2. I get it. Okay, perfect. So you guys are playing what?
We play. It's a foundation for challenge kids.
Okay.
The group is called KIDS, Kids and Disability Sports.
Okay.
So they like every year we play them. This is the first year I've been able to play out of the last 3 because it's been on the day I've been at the fire station. So I missed the last 3, but I've played every year that I've been available to play. It's a great day. The kids love it. So your son plays basketball with a group, right?
Yep.
Cameron. And do they ever play against police or fire or something like that?
No. So Cameron does special. I'm trying to remember the whole calendar. In the spring, he used to do track, but he doesn't do track anymore. So in the spring with the Special Olympics, he's now doing bocce. Of course he is. So random, so remarkably random.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to do golf because they actually play their tournaments up at Owl's Nest in Thornton, which is a gorgeous course. Although I'd be caddying for him, so we would end up killing each other out on the 13th fairway because he wouldn't want to listen to me. Trying to get him to do golf. Anyway, he does bowling in the fall, and they're doing basketball right now. So, and they go to like a regional thing, and then there'll be a state thing at the very end. But it's all there's maybe a couple of kids with physical disabilities, but for the most part, it's all intellectual stuff. So
but they never do anything against first responders or anything. Oh.
Nope.
Because
other towns.
Lowell plays basketball against them. Chelmsford plays, I think they play softball against them. Like and then there's another town or the police do a golf tournament with them. They like all surrounding towns. They all do something with this group and with the police and fire against them. It's pretty.
So are these
these
kids that are? Is it all intellectual or all physical or a mix? Like what are you?
All mental or into. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it.
I'm probably saying it wrong too, but yeah. Okay.
I would trust you more since you have.
Are you out there swinging elbows, like knocking these kids to the ground? What are you doing?
No, it's a lot. It's like
light defense, some light defense.
So it's like the Harlem Globetrotters against the
Washington Generals.
Washington Generals. With the fire department is the Washington Generals.
Love it.
We never win. We lose by like 50 points every year.
You're out there taking the L. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm picturing you dunking on this poor kid with Down syndrome. Like, it's the episode of Seinfeld when Kramer's fighting the kids in karate class.
They like to keep it a little close for like the first half.
Sure.
And
then it gets away from you.
Yeah. But like the last year I played, it was guys on our team, like it was like 20-0. It's like, you got to try a little bit and make it seem like you can't just be like, well, just laying down here and losing 100-0 or something, So man, 1 year, I think this kid is like, he's an adult now.
Yep.
So like, this one kid, and he had, I don't know what his he had a physical disability. Like he he could move his legs, but they were like it was almost like it was almost like he was like a penguin walking.
Mm-hmm.
Like his
Mm-hmm.
it, and he was draining threes from half court.
Love this.
Like he's just like, "Whoop," and I was like, holy crap! Yeah,
Double dribble. Remember double dribble?
Yeah.
The ball up in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I was
awesome.
like, holy mackerel! We're just feeding this kid. It's like, wow, this is impressive. Like
That's
this is
awesome.
like, yeah, it's a real good time. And they'll have
Cameron's team is funny because they show up for practice and everybody's dressed like Tatum. Like Cameron has 3 Celtics outfits,
I've
2
seen the
BC
pictures
outfits.
of Cameron. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got the Flint Tropics outfit. Yes, he's very excited. Yeah, it's a lot going on. And everybody's just chucking up threes. Nobody passes every week at practice. Practice is on Saturdays. I'm like, be a good teammate, pass the ball. He's like, I know. And then he gets out there and they're all just eating up threes. Right? Hero ball.
Yeah.
Hero ball.
That's great. It's great that they're able to do stuff like that. You know, that's
yep.
Yeah, I love doing this game every year. I'm always mad. I wait for the email to come out to see what the date is, and the last 3 years I'm like, oh man, I can't play again. Like I'm starting to get to the point where I might not be able to play anymore.
Right.
But still it especially I don't have to run up and down like sprinting the whole time.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's a good time.
It's not a full court press.
No. Yeah, it's a real good time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
When is that?
This Saturday, 10. Yeah, so if anyone out there, the 2 people following us right now, you're in the Lowell area, we will be at the Morey School at 10:00, and it's Lowell Fire Department against the Kids in Disability Sports.
Saturday at 10. All right, perfect. Yep. Perfect. Let's talk Red Sox. I'm actually excited to finish that sentence.
That's it. Like Scotty and I were like, "Oh, this is great. We're like excited for the Red Sox." Bregman hits a home run his first game. He goes 3 for 3.
Yeah, he was 3 for 3 with a dinger, right?
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And Crochet. I think that's Crochet the first really time I've heard about him. I don't know if I've ever seen him pitch for the White Sox, and he's a monster.
Yep.
Holy mackerel. I'm like, yeah, this could be fun. And there's still rumors of the Red Sox still making some other addition before opening day. There's been
to the pitching staff or
so yeah, there's been a ton of stuff about Dylan Cease out in San Diego, and he's good. He would be, one of our top 3 pitchers. And then there's still the Vlad Guerrero thing is like floating out there.
Still.
Yep.
Oh, I thought that was going to be more of a next year thing. Like they were going to figure something out with him and make it next year.
If they decide to trade him, then it could happen sooner than later.
Yeah.
Maybe they do it. I just don't see them giving him what he wants. Although they, technically they were in it for Soto, with the long term and huge contracts.
Yep. So,
I mean, you figure it's Vladdy, I think is 25, so he's right in those prime years. But the thing is, it's like they want like 10 years. So it's like, so you get them 25 to 30 in their prime, and then the last 5 years of the contract, they're not in their prime anymore. So that's
but he would move to DH, and he could move to he would be moving in 5 years to DH, arguably behind Devers, because Devers, even though and I can't wait to hear your take on this, like Devers vehemently said he's not moving.
Yeah,
like, they gotta right that ship. Like that's gotta get figured out.
You know what? It's the manager's choice. Like the manager makes the lineup.
Right.
So you figure out a way to tell him, hey, this is what's best for the team. You're DHing.
Right.
Bregman's playing third.
But he can still go sour pants. And then we get somebody who's all pissed off and starting to F up. I mean, Lord knows what it is. I don't know if it's
Well, that's when you trade him to the worst team in the league. Like, see how you like it there with no
yeah.
fans and no chance
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
I have faith in Cora. Like, I think he'll be able to get it through his head. I think he was a little taken back with, all of a sudden they're like, the questions are coming at him like, "Oh, so you're gonna move from third?" And he's like, "I don't
Yeah.
think anyone prepared him for that. Like, this
Yep.
is what people are gonna be asking you."
Yep.
And so I think it was just taken because I didn't get a chance to read it. I saw a headline that says he's kind of stepped back on that. He's still not. He still hasn't played yet, so he's still coming off
Right.
a shoulder thing. So I mean, you would think the best thing for you is not to play the field and just hit. If
Well,
you're
and Bregman's already said, like, I'll go wherever the team needs me to go.
right.
Like, he's saying all the right things. So
Yep.
and heard Alex yesterday, I think, or a day ago. And he was talking about the fact that, like, they're all sitting together and talking, and the kids are, like, starving for information, and to have somebody
Yep.
like Bregman in the clubhouse. So I think when Rafi realizes he's got another, great veteran ally, and he just go. I mean, what I can't imagine that wouldn't be happy, like, just DHing.
I know. That's
Like,
that's
just
a
go do
shock.
that, dude. Yeah, go do that. Why? Like, I don't know why he'd be upset, because he's not. It's not like we're pulling him out of a skill position. Who was it we yanked, and everybody was, like, horrified? Did we move Valentin? And everybody was like, the needle on the record, like, scratched, and everybody's like, well, why are we moving Valentin? And we made the move he moved from short to second, and everybody was horrified. I forget for who it was at the time.
I think it was Nomar.
Yeah, we slide Valentin when Nomar came in. Okay. Yeah. And everybody was like, this can't be right. It was absolutely right.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was absolutely right. Yeah.
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 So many.
Interesting.
Look at. I don't know if you heard, Mookie Betts is playing shortstop this year for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I saw that. Like,
he's going to be there every day shortstop. He came up. I think he came up as a second. Well, he was drafted as a second baseman. They converted him to an outfielder. The Red Sox did.
right.
He's a Gold Glove outfielder. Goes to the Dodgers. Last year he played second and outfield, and then this year they asked him if he could move to short, and he's like, "Yep, I'll play short. It's best for the team. Just keep giving me those rings."
Yeah, just keep stacking. Yeah. Make sure the check doesn't bounce.
Yeah.
And make sure the ring fits. Yeah.
It's like one of the radio people this week said, it's the American dream. It's like, you're paying me as a top third baseman and you're gonna have me play DH and do less work and make the same amount of money. That's the American dream.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
Like, yeah.
Chew on these sunflower seeds until we tap you on the shoulder until you hit the ball over the wall.
It is. You have to have the right mindset. Like Big Papi definitely had it. It's some
Absolutely.
people, it's hard to. You're sitting on the bench the whole time, and then you're just coming up to hit once every 3 innings or so.
Right.
And it's not everyone can do it at a good level.
Yep. Yeah, I hope he clicks with it, because that would be nice to see that kind of a lineup. I mean, I think that it's weird because we were so down on them, rightfully so. I guess I'm just amazed at just that simple move of getting Bregman and presuming that Rafi is cool to go over and DH. Like, we're right in the mix. We're immediately right in the mix.
So they just missed the playoffs last year. They made a lot of moves for the pitching staff. Like the pitching staff, they're right now. There's a couple of the starters that are, Cutter Crawford, who's going to be your sixth guy anyway, most likely.
Yep.
He's dealing with something. Bayo's dealing with something right now. Giolito's still coming off Tommy John surgery, but as long as they don't start off in like really bad like they did 2 years ago, if they can, just stay around 500 for the first month, get everyone back playing healthy, and I think they're right there. Like they, as far as the AL East, they've done the most. They've made the most improvements.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
And then you hope, Duran makes another step, Casas makes another step. I mean, Connor Wong was nobody expected that from him last year. If he just sustains it, he doesn't have to get much better, but just stay the way he was last year, and it's there. They. Oh, and another. So the one question mark, which if there's something wrong with him and he can't start the season, that's just gonna give one of the young guys a chance to play, is William Abreu. He's I think has like some type of viral infection going
Oh,
on.
really? Okay.
Yeah, the reports from down in spring training say he looks like he lost weight. So he's dealing with something, and he hasn't played, and I don't think he's done any baseball stuff at all yet. So he's going to be behind probably a month. So maybe that gives Roman Anthony a chance to start up in the bigs. Although for me, even though it would be great for Christian Campbell to start at second, because that's the only question mark we have is second base.
Yep.
It's probably going to be David Hamilton.
Yep.
But I think I'd like Mayer, Anthony, Campbell. I would like all three of those guys to start out in Worcester. And because Campbell started in single A last year and made it all the way to Worcester at the end of the season. So I'd like to see him get a good month and a half at Worcester, and then bring him up. I would, and injuries work themselves out where you need a player and stuff happens. So I'm sure that's going to be what does it the most. But you figure if you have Rafaela in center, Duran in left, and you're going to have maybe Anthony and right to start the season if Abreu can't go, and Bregman, Story, Hamilton's second base, you can bat him 8th or 9th. It's not, you don't need him. Like last year, he was filling in and batting higher than he was batting second, I think, a lot.
Yep.
I think this Bregman puts the whole lineup where everyone should be. That one move, and that's why I was like, before they did it, I'm like, this one guy solidifies your whole lineup. Like he puts everyone slotted where they should be batting. And I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I don't want to get too excited, but I am
They
excited.
haven't ruined your summer yet. Yes, you're planning on them not ruining your summer. The thing that hit me the other day, somebody was interviewing Will Fleming, and I said, "Oh my God, I forgot Joe's done." It feels like I remember he retired, which feels like a year ago, and it wasn't. It was months ago. But like the fact that he's done, and I like Will, he'll do good. They mentioned who was going to be sitting with him, and I forget the name.
Smorgasbord. I think it's going to be mostly Merloni. It's going to be
Okay.
Merloni, Millar, Middlebrook. It's going to be kind of the same group of guys that was there last year. I'm not sure if Euclid. I don't remember seeing his name as coming back, but I think it's going to be mostly Merloni, and Millar and Middlebrooks will fill in time to time.
Yep.
And oh wait, that's Nesson.
You're thinking Nesson. Yeah.
I don't know if I saw the radio.
Although Merloni was doing a lot on the radio though too.
He might be doing both.
I think he jumps back and forth. Uke jumps back and forth too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. It was just I just thought of that. I'm like, oh my God, he's retired.
Steph,
Oh my God.
is my information person.
She'll know.
Who's going to be on the radio with Will Fleming? I can only remember the Nesson group. I don't know if they announced it. Oh, she's saying she doesn't think they announced it. So maybe. Okay, yeah. So it's only been Nesson.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I feel like they referenced who was going to be sitting with him when I heard the interview the other day. But anyway, the fact that Joe's done is horrifying. Stupid question, but asking for a friend. Did Nike fix the uniforms? Remember last year at the top of the season?
I believe they did. I know that is
like the whites were sheer white.
Yeah.
Right.
I know Zolak mentioned something already that he's like, oh, you can tell the difference. So I think I wasn't really paying attention. I did watch the game on Sunday. I watched the game on Sunday, and it did look better.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of the navy blue top this year.
Okay. Interesting.
The yellow and light blue is going to be a regular jersey now. It's not a City Connect. It's a regular jersey. And the City Connect jersey is going to be a green jersey this year.
Interesting.
So they'll have the white, the gray, the red.
No more navy blue.
And the green. Yep, no more navy blue.
Interesting. Huh. I wonder what's possessing them to do that.
I think they wanted to, even though they love,
because it was Friday night. Friday night at home was red. Friday night on the road was blue.
Yep. So now I think that's probably going to be the yellow shirt. Now will be one of those.
Interesting. And the fact that they're making the 617, the City Connects are now a standard issue.
Yep.
And the green shirt.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what color green it is. They haven't leaked them out yet.
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna guess. Carry the 4, divide by 3. I feel like St. Patrick's Day, you're probably gonna see them.
Well, they usually wear a green jersey anyway on St. Patty's Day, so I don't know if that will be the official unveiling of it or not.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
they do usually. Well, actually, I think they wear them. No, maybe it is because I feel like one year they didn't wear them, and it's because they weren't at home for St. Patty's Day, which is ridiculous. You don't have the Red Sox play their home game down in spring training on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous to not do that. Interesting. All right, so they did away with the navy blue. All right. So I'd love to see them screw with the hats a little bit too. Like Nike goes so crazy with all these teams. I'd love to see them rolling the Red Sox back to the sock hats.
Because they have to have a hat that goes with the City Connect. Green and red.
Interesting.
So it's.
And they haven't leaked anything yet. I shouldn't even bother to look online.
Have you seen it? Because I haven't seen one.
Oh, what do we got? Look at
this. Is the old one. This is a David Ortiz. So this is old. So that's what she's showing.
Yeah, that's like the traditional St. Patty's shirt. Sure, I get that.
It doesn't say it's City Connect yet. I don't think they've leaked the actual one yet. It's literally this color. I mean, that's what I think it will be anyway.
I just want them to come out with 35 hats. I would like Nike. The one thing I think Nike does a great job with all the uniforms, and I love when they go nuts on teams. Oregon is the one team that gets everything because it's Uncle Phil went there. But anyway,
Uncle Phil's team,
yeah. I would love to see a myriad of hats. Watching the Red Sox and be like, I don't know what they're gonna have on tonight. Because Friday nights for a while. It was the socks on the hats. That was a Friday night staple with the rotating, whether they were home or away with the navy blue and the red. Then that went by the wayside. The shirts I never want to see come back, and our dear friend Bobby Dugan would agree with me on this. Remember way back in the day when our road shirts, for whatever friggin' reason, we were in gray and everything was that dark navy blue lettering. There was no red trim.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bright navy blue. It was like a they almost looked like black lettering on gray.
Yeah.
Those were the worst. Those were the worst. And they have to and I feel like in the last couple of years with Nike, maybe I'm making this up, I feel like we came out at one point, we were in just straight white pants, no red pinstripe. Like that's got to get corrected. Unless maybe I'm making that up. But I hope Nike did a good job this year. Like fixing them mechanically so they're not too sheer. And they remember last year they were like rainbowing the names over the numbers and it just looks super stupid.
Yeah.
I hope they got all that fixed. But
so I lucked out because the old City Connect, the yellow with the navy blue, I have one, and it's a number 2, and that's Bregman's number.
Oh, is he 2?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, was he 2 at Houston?
I feel like he was 3.
Okay. You grabbed 2. All right. Very cool.
Yep.
Oh, so you have a nameless City Connect shirt with 2
yes,
on it.
Yeah. So I could be Jerry Remy.
Could be
when I had it. It was Devers. Let's see if I can.
What are we researching?
Looking to see if I can find out what number he was in Houston. He was number 2.
Oh, he was. All right.
Yep.
Sweet. Breaking news: Diana Taurasi's retiring. There, I said that for Adam. Oh. We send our love. We send our love. Do we agree on next week? I think we're Wednesday next week.
Yes.
We'll be back Wednesday night next week. Hopefully, we'll have Corey safely out of the plane that is having an emergency. So hopefully he lands safely. We'll get wheels down from him pretty soon. We'll get Scotty back. We will at some point get Adam to join us if we push it late enough, I suppose. But for them and for Rubber Shoes and myself, we're escaping. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We'd love for you to subscribe. We'd love for you guys to share, comment, and like. And our dear friends Joe and Leslie over at AAA Work Trucks for putting up with all the stupid. And to the kids that are going to break ankles on Rubber Shoes on Saturday, go easy on them.
Yeah.
Go easy on them. Go easy on them. All right, brother. See you soon.
Hopefully I don't pull a Scotty Dukes and,
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Bad juju.